The Samudra Manthan, ocean churning, is one of the most well-known and significant episodes in Hindu mythology, particularly described in the Mahabharata, the Bhagavata Purana, and the Vishnu Purana. This story involves the gods, devas, and demons, asuras, working together to churn the Kshir Sagar, ocean of milk, in order to obtain precious items, known as the ratnas or treasures, that would grant them immense power, immortality, and divine benefits. The churning process itself is symbolic of the spiritual struggle between good and evil and is a metaphor for the inner conflict of the soul seeking enlightenment and liberation. The Samudra Manthan story is highly symbolic and has been interpreted in various ways in different Hindu traditions. Let's delve into the entire process and the things that emerged from the ocean during the churning. 1. Background of the Samudra Manthan. The churning of the ocean took place when the devas, gods, were weakened by a curse from sage Durvasa. This curse led to the devas losing their strength and dominance over the asuras, demons, who took advantage of this situation and began overpowering them. In order to regain their strength and to obtain the nectar of immortality, Amrita, the devas sought the help of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu devised a plan to churn the ocean of milk using Mount Mandara as the churning rod and the serpent Vasuki as the churning rope. The devas and asuras agreed to cooperate in this endeavor, with the promise that the Amrita, elixir of immortality, would be divided between them once it was produced. 2. The process of churning. The churning began with the devas and asuras pulling the serpent Vasuki in opposite directions, causing Mount Mandara to rotate. As they churned the ocean, a series of incredible things emerged, both good and bad, which were distributed between the devas and asuras. 3. Things that came out during Samudra Manthan. The churning of the ocean resulted in a variety of valuable treasures and divine entities. These items are symbolic of different aspects of life, spirituality, and cosmic order. The following are the most prominent things that emerged. 3.1 Poison, Halahala. One of the first and most dangerous things to emerge from the churning was Halahala, a deadly poison. As the churning intensified, the ocean of milk began to release this toxic substance that threatened to destroy everything in its path, including both the devas and asuras. To prevent its destruction, Lord Shiva came forward and consumed the poison to save the world. He held the poison in his throat, which turned it blue, giving him the name Nilkant, the blue-throated one. The poison is symbolic of the negativity, desires, and impurities in the world that can threaten spiritual progress. Shiva's act of swallowing the poison symbolizes his role as the protector of the universe, absorbing negative energy and transforming it into something neutral. 3.2 Kaustubha Gem, Kaustubha Mani. The Kaustubha Mani, a priceless jewel, emerged from the ocean after the poison was swallowed. This jewel was said to be the most valuable gemstone, shining with an intense brilliance. Lord Vishnu adorned this gem on his chest, symbolizing supreme wealth, spiritual power, and divine beauty. The Kaustubha is considered a symbol of Lord Vishnu's transcendental nature and represents spiritual abundance. 3.3 The goddess Lakshmi. From the ocean emerged the goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, fortune, and prosperity. She is said to have risen from the ocean in a magnificent form, holding a lotus in one hand and showering blessings of wealth and prosperity. Lakshmi's emergence represents not only material wealth but also spiritual prosperity. She is revered as the consort of Lord Vishnu, and her presence signifies the union of divine grace and wealth. The emergence of Lakshmi is also symbolic of the spiritual principle that wealth, when acquired with righteousness and devotion, can lead to prosperity, both material and spiritual. 3.4 Amrita, nectar of immortality. After all the other treasures were retrieved, the most coveted item to emerge from the ocean was Amrita, the nectar of immortality. The devas and asuras fought fiercely for the nectar, but Lord Vishnu took the form of a beautiful enchantress, Mohini, and distracted the asuras. While they were distracted, the devas were able to consume the nectar, gaining immortality. The Amrita is symbolic of the ultimate goal of Hinduism, moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death. It represents spiritual freedom, the transcending of worldly attachments, and eternal bliss. The churning process itself is a metaphor for the spiritual effort and inner struggle needed to attain immortality through enlightenment. 3.5 Acheshravas, the Divine Horse. A magnificent seven-headed horse named Acheshravas emerged from the ocean. Acheshravas is considered a divine celestial steed, often associated with Lord Indra, the king of the Devas. This horse represents speed, power, and nobility. It is also linked to the idea of a spiritual journey, as it is believed that this horse can carry the rider swiftly to the ultimate goal of spiritual realization. 3.6 Airavata, the Divine Elephant. Airavata, a majestic, white elephant with multiple heads, emerged from the ocean as well. Airavata is the vehicle, Vahana, of Lord Indra, the god of thunder and rain. Airavata is a symbol of strength, power, and divine purity. It is believed that Airavata also represents the control of the elephant-like mind, which is symbolic of wisdom, strength, and intelligence. 3.7 Kalpavriksha, the wish-fulfilling tree. The Kalpavriksha, or wish-fulfilling tree, is another treasure that emerged from the churning. This tree is believed to grant any wish or desire and is a symbol of divine generosity and abundance. It represents the fulfillment of both material and spiritual desires, underlining the idea that the divine can provide for all needs when one is in harmony with the cosmic order. 3.8 Vijaya, the Banner of Victory. The Vijaya, a divine banner of victory, also emerged from the ocean. This banner is associated with the concept of victory over evil and ignorance. It represents divine triumph, both in the worldly and spiritual realms, over obstacles and negative forces. It is a symbol of divine protection, strength, and righteousness. 3.9 Parihata Tree, the Divine Tree of Heaven. The Parihata tree, also known as the Divine Tree of Heaven, emerged from the ocean. It was considered a celestial tree that could fulfill wishes and grant eternal happiness. It was later planted in Indra's kingdom, where it became a source of spiritual and material well-being. The Parihata tree is a symbol of the rewards of diligent spiritual practice and devotion. 3.10 Dhanvantari, the Physician of the Gods. Dhanvantari, the divine physician, emerged from the churning holding a pot of amrita, nectar. He is considered the god of medicine and health and is revered for his ability to cure diseases and bring healing. The presence of Dhanvantari symbolizes the importance of health, well-being, and the healing arts, which are considered essential for both physical and spiritual growth in Hinduism. 4. The role of the Devas and Asuras. Although the Devas and Asuras cooperated in the churning process, their intentions were different. The Devas sought immortality, divine gifts, and blessings, while the Asuras aimed to take the nectar for themselves and achieve dominance. The churning symbolizes the constant struggle between good and evil, light and darkness, and the forces of order and chaos. The Devas, under the guidance of Lord Vishnu, ultimately receive the nectar of immortality and emerge victorious, symbolizing the triumph of goodness and righteousness over evil and ignorance. The Asuras, on the other hand, are tricked by Lord Vishnu in his form as Mohini and are deprived of the nectar, signifying the ultimate victory of divine wisdom and justice. Conclusion. The Samudra Manthan or ocean churning story is not just a mythological event but a profound allegory that teaches important lessons about the struggle between good and evil, the importance of spiritual effort, and the ultimate goal of attaining immortality and liberation. The treasures and beings that emerged during the churning are symbols of various aspects of life, material and spiritual, ranging from wealth, power, and immortality to wisdom, health, and divine protection. Each of the things that came out of the ocean has a deeper spiritual significance, representing different facets of life and the universe. The act of churning the ocean itself is symbolic of the human pursuit of spiritual awakening, where hard work, devotion, and divine guidance lead to the realization of the ultimate truth.